Hi everyone, good evening. My name is Vivek Kumar and I am streaming live on the channel of Geeks for Geeks. Today I am covering module 5 which contains list. So there are various methods on list which works. Apart from that, there are inbuilt methods also which works on list. So in the previous stream we have seen that there are around 10 to 11 methods which works on list and around 12 to 14 methods are inbuilt methods. So most of the methods works on list. So the list is the strongest data type in Python by which you can do anything which you would like to. So with this introduction I would like to start today's stream which is on sorting a list. So waiting for a live chat. Till then, let's see this example. Well, so everything is good. I was checking the sound. Sound is okay. So let's see this example. The objectives are this is the input and we need this output, and similarly this is the input for this input we need some output. So this has already been discussed, that what is the difference between sorted and sort. So as I told that sort is the method of list, but sorted is not the method of list. Sort sorts the list in place, whereas the sorted function sorts the list and returns the sorted list. Sort function is an inbuilt function which always returns a sorted list. You can sort ascending or in descending order depending on your requirement and the arguments you passed. So waiting for a live chat. Let's go ahead. So this all been covered in the previous stream. Let's see this union. So we have not covered union and intersection because the union and intersection are the part of list, are the part of set, and the union intersection can be done beautifully in set. So why do we use list? So there is no use of list in that. So we will see union and intersection when we will look at the set. Although the union intersection which we are doing with set, it can also be done with list. So if you want to read all through this union intersection, how to do it with list, you can also go through these two tabs. Now better to switch on stack and queues. So unlike C++, means unlike C++, STL and Java collections, Python does not have specific class interface for stack and queue, because everything can be done with a list. As I told you that list is very powerful in Python. as you can also see that these union intersection operations which works on set can also be done from list. So list is very powerful data structure. So see, using list stack works on the principle of last in first out, as we know, LIFO, right? And LIFO. So this is what stack. Why do we call it LIFO? Because it's the array is bounded at one side. So last in means if first is this and second is this, then if we would like to take out some number from here, then it can be only 2. It cannot be 1 because it is above 2. So in this way, this is called last in first out. The data element which has been entered at the last will be taken out at first. The inbuilt function in Python makes the code short and simple. To add an item to the top of the list, to push an item we use append, and to pop use pop. So append and pop works as push and pop, right? So you can use append easily wherever you want to use push, and you can use pop function wherever you want to use pop. So these two functions are of list, so list object is required before these two functions. So this is a must before using these functions, L dot or the name object. So in this the object name is stack, so we will use stack dot, right? Stack dot append, stack dot append. So as you know that first we have appended Ram and then we have appended Iqbal, so it is something like this. Ram is appended first, so it will be on bottom, and Iqbal is pushed next, so it will be on upper side. So top of stack will be here. Print stack dot pop. So whenever you will pop, so pop always returns, pop returns. So pop returns the element which is being deleted right now, right? So it will return Iqbal, pop will return Iqbal. So then we will print Iqbal, and then we will print stack. We will see that what else is remaining. So remaining is only Ram. So let's see. Iqbal is popped out and Ram is remaining, and 3 items were already there, Amar, Akbar and Anthony below this. Amar, Akbar and Anthony. Now next is print stack dot pop. Now again I am popping out element. So this time it will pop Ram, because Iqbal is not there in the list, in the stack, so it will pop out Ram from here only, open end, right? And then when we will print stack, we will be remaining with this list stack. Let's see. Right? Similarly, we can implement the concept of queue. What is queue? Queue can be visualized like this, means the element which will come first will go out first. So if I insert Ram at the first and Iqbal at the second, then when we will pop out or delete or dequeue, then Ram will come first and Iqbal will come second. So what was the element which I have inserted first? Ram I have inserted first, and Ram is coming out first, right? So this is first in first out. Ram was first in, hence Ram will be first out. So suppose we have the queue. Queue is open ended from both sides, and we have Amar, Akbar and Anthony. Then we post Ram and Iqbal. Then who will come first? Obviously Ram will not come first because there are 3 more elements. So Amar will come first. So when Q will pop 0 means we want to pop out the first element. So the pop 0 will work as DQ concept, and append will work as NQ concept. And these both functions are belonging to list. So what is the name of list? Name of list is Q. So we will write like this: Q dot. So whatever is the name of object, we will use this name. So after popping out, we will print the Q, and then we will pop out one more, and we will again print the Q. Let's see what is the output. Amar was the first element, so Amar will come out. Akbar is the second element, so Akbar will come out. So that's the difference between list and queue, but that is so simple to deal with list and queue in this. Really simple. Now you can also use DQ. So can you all say me hi so that I can come to know that who is there? So from collections module, we will import DQ. So DQ is a ready-made data structure which is in collections, and we will put this list in DQ. Then we will print Q. Q is the object of DQ, right? Don't confuse. So you can also take D, no problem. So the object is printed as this: Ram, Tarun, Asif and John. And now we will append Akbar and append Birbal. So after appending Akbar and after appending Birbal, the list is like this. Then we will pop. So on popping, it will also pick out the last element. Always pick out the last element. Okay, Chaitanya, great to see you again. So it will always pick out the last element, because there are 2 functions. One is pop and one is pop I. So in pop I you can provide index, but in pop you cannot provide index. So it will always pop out the last element. So when you will pop out the last element, which was the last element you have appended? Because append always appends at the last of list. So Birbal is the last element which was appended, so Birbal will come out first. So you can see Birbal will come out first, and then Akbar will come out, and then when you will print the Q, it will be like this. So this is all done. Q can be implemented using DQ. So this is an example, you can see yourself. So thank you, Chinmay Lanka. I think this is your second or third article in this whole course. That's a great contribution. Python numbers in a list within a given range. So let's see this. Given a list, print the number of numbers in the given range. Number of numbers. So let's understand what they want to say. 10, 20 and 70 up to 70 is a list which is all sorted, but there is a repetition of 40. No, 50 is also there, so it's not sorted. It's a simple list. Now range is given 40 to 50, so we just want to pick out the elements which are coming in this range. So there are 6 elements. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 40, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 40 to 50. 40 to 50. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know how it is coming 6. Let me check it out. Now range is 10 to 40. So 10, 20, 30, 40. So these are 4. So this is correct, but this is not correct. This is correct, but it is having some error because we are taking 50 over here, but we are taking 60, 70 over here. So this is not correct. So let's consider this example, right? Maybe there may be some twist also. So if you want to print element from 40 to 80, then there are 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, correct. So it's not 50, it's 80 basically. This is 80. So that's the error. Now this is not implemented, right? So should we make the program for the same? I hope we should make the program for the same. So let's start with making a program. So I am opening my offline compiler ideally because I am using Windows Microsoft Windows, sorry. So this is the interpreter of Python. So there we can write and print anything. 2 plus 3, simple, 6. So in this way this is interpreter, but I am going to make a new file because I want to batch compile. So batch means I want to write one or more statements, 2 or more statements. Bharat Nayak hai. 2 or more statements I want to print. I want to execute, right? So let's take example 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. L is equals to, in square brackets, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and there are 240 extra. Why it's not writing? 10. Okay, number lock was not on. 20, 30, 40, 50, and then 40, 40, 60, 70. So list is ready. Let's see. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 40, 40, 60, 70. Correct. Now I want to print the elements, the number of elements which are lying in this range 40 to 80, right? So first range is, so this is comment, it does not mean anything. 40 to 80. Now how will we do this? Is there any logic? Can you suggest some logic? So if I compare this with 80 and 40, then we can say that this is one element which we want to count. So maybe I am going a long way If you have a short solution, do let me know through chat. So I am going a long way, right? So for I in L, if range is between this count plus equal to 1. And what is count over here? Let's take count equals to 0. Let's save this program with some name. And let's run it. So the mistake I made was I did not print the count, and I am waiting for the count. How it will give me? Save and run. So 6 is the right answer. If you have any short solution, you can suggest me. What it is doing? It is choosing one by one, right? Means the first value of I will be 10. Then it will check if I lies between 40 and 80. You can write same as you write in mathematics. C, you cannot write like this in C or C++ or Java or any other language. So Python gives you the freedom to write the things like you write in mathematics, right? So if I is 10, then the answer of this will be false, right? And this will not go inside. So the count will not be incremented. Count will be 0 now. Again, for the next loop of I, the value of I will be 20. Again it will be false. If a statement will be false, right? Count will be 0. For 30, false, count 0. For 40, it will look for less than and equal to. Although this is not less than, but it is equal to. So this is true. It will go inside the loop and the count will be incremented. Go inside the if condition, the count will be incremented. In this way it is working. So I hope this is clear to you. Similarly, we can do this 10 to 40 also, right? So 6 and 4 are the answers. Now multiple line approach. What is this? Traverse in the list and check for every number. If the number lies in the specified range, then increase the counter. At the end of traversal, the value of the counter will be the answer for the number. So what we have done over here there is, I think my solution was really short. So this is somewhat long way. You can see what is going on here, right? And this is a single line approach. So we can write a single line for traversal and checking condition together. So you can see that these all lines are abstracted to one line. The return value of the condition check is stored in a list, and at the end of the length of the list returns the answer. So below is the Python implementation for the above approach, for one-liner approach. So in one-liner we have written that I am expanding this, right? I am expanding this, not this part, only this part, right? Only this part. So we are saying that this is first part, this is from here to here, this is second part, and from here to here this is third part. So 213, I hope you remember 231. So second part and then third part, then first part means for x in list 1, right? Then the third part, if L lower range and upper range lies in between, x lies in between these lower and upper range, then return x or append x, right? Append x. So in this way, if we have taken a blank list, empty list, right, then we can append these all items to this list. So it will be converted to a list, and then we will find the length of list. So when we find the length of list, it will be a single number. Now intersection. So I am not interested in intersection because this part will be covered in sets. So we are looking at Python tuples. So yesterday we were working on these tuples because we have directly switched on to tuples, and we have seen that how we can make tuples. So one thing to remember in tuple is, whenever you are making a one single element tuple, right, then the comma is compulsory. This comma is compulsory. So if you want to making a tuple with two element, then this comma is compulsory. If you will not put this comma and you will write like this, then this is not a tuple. When you will find the type of T, this is not the tuple. I can show you. You will be amazed to see. T is equals to, in round brackets, 2, and I want to find the type of T. You can see this is showing integer, but if I put a comma after 2 and then I will find the type of T, then it is showing tuple. So just a single comma can make difference, right? So always mind that while using tuple, if you are taking only single element, you must use comma for that. Now what if I write T is equals to 7, comma. Is this tuple? Let's try. Yes, this is tuple. So this is one more way. Now what if I write T is equals to 4, 6? Is this tuple? Let's try. Yes, this is also tuple. So the round brackets around the tuple are optional, but comma for the single element is compulsory. So that's the thing you need to remember. I can take your questions also if you found any doubts. So this is all done, and we access tuples like we access lists, and we can concatenate tuple by using just a plus sign, and we were working on slicing. So the slicing works the same way as the list. So you can delete tuple by just using del keyword, and there comes the built-in methods. So this is not the part where we are covering built-in methods. You can look into it by yourself, or if I will encounter with these, so I will tell you that how these works. Now just let's take a look that how do we count occurrences of an element in a list. Means suppose there is um, 4 times 3, then how will I count that how many times 3 is there in the list, right? Or how many times a word in a text is occurring. Suppose I have a text, means a page of a book stored in a list, then how will you count that how many times is coming, or how many times a particular word is coming? So that's how that's where the occurrence is required. So this is saying that we have a list and we want to we have x equals to 10. I want to know that how many times 10 is occurring, x is occurring in this list. So let's take this simple approach. Count this is using function. So first we have taken count as 0, and then we are taking element from the list one by one. So there is a list and we are taking one element out, and we are saying this is ELE, and we are checking if ELE equals to x. We are checking if this element is equals to x or not. If this equals to x, then we will increment the count. Again we will go back to for loop and we will pick out the second element, and this time we will again call it ELE. So we will compare ELE with this second element. If this is equals to x, then we will again increment the count. So in this way, when all count when the for loop will end, then after this statement, return statement will work. So after this return, it will return the count, and this count will be handled in this function where I am calling this. Now there is one more approach, I think, method 2 using count. So we can use an inbuilt method count, and count will count all the occurrences of the element. So this is a simple method. Just put the count method on the list. So this is the object of list, and you will put a dot over this object, and then you will call this function count. So this is an inbuilt function, and when you will pass this x, means you want to whatever you want to count, then it will return that occurrences. Now there is one more thing, that is counter. So counter is not part of the basic libraries, but it is the part of collections. So suppose we have this list and I want to counter L. So counter will count each and everything. So 3 has occurred 2 times. This will be told by counter. There is some counter is an inbuilt function. Count is the method of list. Sorry, it's not inbuilt method. It's the method of list method. The recognition of the list methods is they are always called after putting a dot over the object. So that's the recognition. So this is a list method. Sorry for wrong information. I could not see actually. Now counter is the class of this collection module, and in this we will pass the list, and uh, we will pass x in the d, right? So this is the method of calling this counter method, dx. Okay. Now how do we sort tuples in increasing order by any key? So well, we cannot sort tuples because tuples are immutable, and not even a single element we cannot change in tuple. So let's see how do we do it. So suppose this is a tuple. So actually this is not a tuple, this is list of tuples. 2 5 is tuple, 1 2 is tuple, but the collection of these tuples are contained in a list because the outer bracket is square bracket. So the output should be this 1 2 2 3 2 5 4 4, right, according to the first element. Now there is one more input. This is also list of tuples. So when we'll sort it, it should look like this, starting with 23 and then starting with 25, right? So here is given the solution of this. Means if you have key, you can make them sorted. So I would like to take your questions here, because I am getting bored and also you will be getting bored. So I would like to take your questions, or we should go for solving some problems. So that will be a great method. We will cover this in the next lecture, I hope. So I think I should go for these problems. So that will be more interesting to solve. So let's go to problems. Iterating through list. Okay, I logged out. Well, so this problem is saying that इटरेशन क्या होता है वो मैं आपको बता दूं. इटरेशन होता है कि किसी एक चीज पे बार बार जाना. सो दैट इज इटरेशन. एंड वो चीज जिस पे आप बार बार जा सकते हैं दैट इज इटरेबल. और वो चीज जो उस पे बार बार घूम रही है, जा रही है, दैट इज इटरेटर. सो दिस इज बेसिकली अ न्यू नेम फॉर लूपिंग, you can say. So whenever you loop, you iterate over something. Means you go touch one element and then go ahead and then touch second element. So this is iteration. So you can use for and while loop. Okay, for each loop can also be used. So this is written over there. Now the question is, given a list R of integers, the task is to print all elements till half of the length of list. Also, After half, print every third element of list, including the element just after half, if exists. Now, if the list is even, then half we can find. If the list length is 6, we can find half of the 6 is 3. So we can simply go through that. But if the length of the list is 7, means odd, then we cannot find half. So we will take lower half, because we can use integer division over there, right? Lower half. So in this example, n equals to 7, the output should be 1 2 3, 1 2 3 in the sequence, and then 4 and 7 every third element. So if 4th is the first element, then 7th is the third element. So what we are doing, we are saying that 3 elements and 4 elements, first we are means distributing this list, and then we will print these elements as it is, and then we will print the first element after this, and then we will print the every third element. So 1 2 3, 1 2 3, third element, every third element. So 7 is the answer. So that's how we need to go like this. Well, so the same is written over here. Now let's complete this. Okay, so let's understood it like we have two problems. One is the half problem, which is for first half, and one is the second half problem. So let's deal with the first half problem, right, one by one. So for the first half, I am thinking that first I should find the length of the list. First I should find the length of the list. So L is equals to length of R. So R is the name written over here, right? Mind that R is the name. And what is N? Let's see what is N. It's not given what is N, so I'm not using N. I am finding my length. Okay, so now first half, so I am writing is at F as FH, so I will use L double slash 2. Why? Because double slash always gives an integer division and the floor value of that float, right? So suppose the length of the list is 7, then half of it will be 3.5. So this double slash will give you 3 only, the integer division, right? So this is also known as floor division. So in this way we will get FH as 3, and now I will slice. So how I will slice? I will print F. I will print R and the slice from 1 to FH. So if FH is 3, then it will print from 0 to 3 minus 1, that is 2. So 0 1 2 are the first 3 elements. So let's see, is it printing or not? So it is printing successfully. 3 is printed, first 3. Now what is the strategy for next? So the strategy for next will be, so first let's use the strategy for next. Okay, in the next part I should slice 4 to last, and then I should print the first element, and then I should print the next three element, the third element and the third element and the third, sixth and ninth. Okay, so in this way let me let me try that if this is working or not. So I want to print air starting from fh and going till end, but with the gap of 3. So let me try. Oh yes, it is printing. We have done. Okay, we have done it. So it is printing means 1 2 3 I will get from here, and 4 7 I will get from there. So I am going to combine this all. So let's combine this all. First of all, I am going to print only one thing. So this is the first part and this is the second part. So I would like to do this as this. What you say, will it work? Only 2 persons. Doesn't matter, Said, how many persons are there. The matter is these 2 persons are following me from last many days. So maybe you follow me from today itself. So what we have done, Chaitanya and others, Chaitanya and Bharat, that we have sliced the first part of the list as I'm telling you how I have sliced it. Air starting from 0 going up to what is the value of fh? 3. 3 minus 1, that is equal to 2. So I am slicing 0 to 2, right, all elements, and in this I am starting with fh means 3, right, and I am going up till end, up till end. So I have not taken any value, and I am skipping 3 steps. I am skipping 3 steps. So in this way, what I am going to do over here is, from 0 to 2 we will cover over here, and from 3 to end, 3 to end is 7 elements are there. So 3 to end ही लिख देता हूँ, 3 to end we will cover from here, and we will skip 3 steps after printing the first value. So the first value at third index is the first value at these are indexes, right? These are not the elements, these are indexes. These are indexes. Now the first value at 0th index is 1, 2 and 3. 3 elements will be printed from here, and the third index means first index, second index, 0th index, first index, second index, third index. 4 is the element at the third index, and then we will skip 3. So skip 5, skip 6 and go to 7. So that's how we got the output, right? So let's compile this. Let's see what result we are getting. 1 2 3 4 7. Yes, we have done. So now we can go for summation. There is something wrong. Okay, for 18, for 18 the correct output is this, means bracket should not be there. Output is matching 0 1 2 43 5 56 3 4 2 324 2 and 4. Output is matching, but commas and list should not be there. So I think we should iterate over this new list. So I will not print this over here. I will rather store in a lst, in a new list, right? And then I will put a for loop for I in lst, print I and equals to space. So in this way it will not print new lines, otherwise it will print new lines. Let's compile it. The output is matching 1 2 3 4 7, and let's submit it. So it is successfully submitted. So that's how Chaitanya, we can go for small problems, and we can solve, means we can use our concepts which we have built when we were means studying through it. So that's how we can go for small problems, for solving small problems. Okay, so let's go back to problems. And let's get the third problem. N equals to 7, R equals to this, output is this. So explanation is given to you, and the explanation is, in the given list there are 3 even numbers and 4 odd elements. So we just want to count the odd and the even, sorry, the even and the odd. Okay, the task is to count the number of even elements and the odd elements in the list. So that's quite simple. We have two counters. Okay. One is even and one is odd. Counter of even CE and counter of odd CO. And then whenever we will find that this number is even, we will increase the count. And good afternoon, Sadiq. So whenever we'll see that the number is even, we will increase the count of even number and odd number. So let's see that this is a pair, means pair is the blank list. Okay, so what we need to write over here is our code. So what technique should I use? Can you all please suggest what technique should I use? Okay, Mohammad Sadiq, you are from TCS. That's great to see. So what do you people think? What technique should I use here? I think I should first find that whether the element which I am accessing is even or not. So I should iterate over the list, means I should either use for loop or while loop to iterate over the list, and then check the element one by one whether it is even or not. So let's use this strategy. So first I will put a for loop for I in R, for I in R, I would like to check for even and odd. So if I modulo 2 is equals to 0, then I will add it to even list. Okay, I will why to add it to even list? I will just increment the counter of odd, not odd but even, right? So I will just increment the counter of C underscore O C underscore O a plus equal to 1. Else I will increment the counter of odd, even, sorry, it was even, and I will increment the counter of odd plus equal to 1. So this is done. Ultimately all counts will be done in this for loop, and everything is okay, so we can go for checking. So let's compile it. The answer should be 3 4 and we are getting this, so we can go for submission. Okay, so let's submit it. I hope you all are registered on practice.geeksforgeeks.org. There you can find the course Fork Python, F-O-R-K Python, Fork Python. And I take classes from Monday to Friday, 7 p.m. So you can join me live for these classes. So that solution was correct. We can go for solving the new problem. But as the time running today, so I can just take your questions. What if we put 0 in R? So no problem to put 0 in R. So which 0 you want to put in which R? And what do you want to do with this 0? Please clarify me. Means I am not getting your question. Chaitanya, I am not getting your question. We can put 0 in R, we can use 0, we can print 0, we can do anything with this 0 in an array. Okay, I think you are saying that if I write r equals to 0. So if you write r equals to 0, the r will not be a list anymore, it will be an integer now. So that's the problem in Python, na? That's the problem in Python. Suppose you are saying that, what I guess you are saying that, suppose there is an array there is an array a double r where we have put a list 4 comma 7 comma 8 comma 9, and you are saying if I put r is equals to 0, then this r will become integer data type. This array will become integer data type. It will no more be a list. List का काम खत्म हो गया. So I can take one more question. You can put any element in array. Why 0 at the first position? I think you are confusing with the index. There is not necessary that an array contains 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It can contain any element. 25, comma 7984, comma 27 crores 98 lakhs 7054. This whole is an element, one element, single element, right? Means you can have a list like this. You can have a list like this. L is equals to 45, 7 crore 7 crore 68 lakhs 45,798. So you can have any element in the list, right? So you this the index of this element is 0 and the index of this element is 1. So whatever operation you want to do, you can do on L0 and L1. Whether you want to delete, whether you want to change, whether you want to reassign. Suppose I want to reassign the value of L0, then I can take new value high. So it will replace 45. So list is the strongest data type in Python, and it has multiple ways to use, multiple methods which can be used on this. So I hope, Chaitanya, that I could answer your query. Means I think I have answered your query. So for today, I will take permission from you guys. So see you in the next stream. Bye for today.